Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and I'm back with another emergency card video for you today. This month I released 4 separate emergency card kits, and so today we're going to use all 3 to make some quick cards. And at the end, I'll give you a closer look at the first half of my 2026 calendar that I started during a live stream, give you the measurements I ended up with for that one as well. So you can craft along and use your kits to their fullest. So many great things here. So the first kit came out on the first Friday of the month. It's the Fitting This Cake Into My Birthday. It's a 69-page kit full of incredible characters, fun pattern papers. I also released a full calendar for 2026 and a Crafty Plans bingo sheet as kit 96. Then I released this all-occasion raising platform pop-up kit. It has a unique pop-up feature in it. It's part of the Use Your Stash Summit that starts tomorrow. If you don't have your free ticket, you can grab it from the top of the description box below. Be sure to log in on Friday. My class is on Friday, and then my freebie is linked right below my class video. It's a 24-page kit, and it's so much fun. Finally, I released an all occasions kit that coordinates with a bunch of Spellbinders products that came out this month. I will link to all of those videos in the description box below so you can go grab those kits if you missed them earlier. And of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future kits. All right, let's make some cards. If you've been here from the beginning, I've been doing this about 3 years, you know, I have a box full of strips, just little strips of cardstock. I prefer to cut mine with a die. Scrapbook.com has some really great strip dies because it'll cut a bunch of them. And so this is just stuff I already had cut out. The goal for these cards is to use supplies that are really generic so you can reach for what you already have. You can absolutely cut strips with your trimmer. These are 3/16 of an inch, somewhere between an eighth and a quarter, but just whatever you have left over. I love to mix in some solid colored cardstock and then scraps of specialty cardstock. So I do have a white glitter and then like a matte silver in there. And I love that that just adds a little shine to go with it. This page came from the Spellbinders All Occasion Sentiments. There are actually 4 dumpster fire themed sentiments. There is one of the 4 sentiments that's part of the freebie version of the kit, and we're going to use that one on this card today. But this page of all 4 of them is for paid members at any tier over in my Patreon. This sentiment says older, wiser, and hotter than ever, which is hilarious with a dumpster fire, but we're actually going to use it with one of the characters from kit 95. I doubled this up. The cardstock I'm printing on is about 65 pound, and I'm going over all those strips of cardstock. And so I wanted it to be a little heavier weight so it didn't bow quite so badly as it went over that strip through the middle. Then I have a piece of black cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I cut some pattern paper. This polka dot print is part of kit 95, and it is a little bigger than 4 by 5 1/4, more like 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, but I didn't really measure. I just eyeballed it. I used my scan and cut to cut out this woman and this birthday cake with tons of candles, right? Hotter than ever. And the birthday cake is basically on fire at this point. And I'm just adding a little action wobble onto the back. They're like little plastic springs. So she'll kind of dance and wiggle around on there, which I love. There's adhesive on the action wobble, but I always add glue too. I've had them fall off before. Dry adhesive, no matter what brand it is, eventually can dry out. And so this just seemed a little safer. I'm going to put this piece at a little bit of an angle. That teal piece again is 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And that finishes up card number 1. You guys, we're moving on to card number 2. I'm using the nested Morocco dies. These are like a newer nested die from scrapbook.com, but anything that is sort of tall and skinny that you have, these have a pretty big leap in between, maybe a 1/2 inch border all the way around between this largest one that I'm using and then the next largest one that I used to cut out that congrats. The congrats comes from the kit that's part of the Use Your Stash Summit. There's a happy birthday, congrats, and thank you so much. They come in 3 different color options, this one and then another one that we'll use today. And then there's one that's just like black and white, so you can mix it better with patterns you may already have. I wanted a little bit of texture on this. So I'm going to emboss just the bottom of this. So I'm being careful not to run this all the way through. I'm going to stop right here. If I ran it all the way through, even though the plate doesn't go all the way up, it would leave this harsh line, and I don't want that. I wanted it to sort of fade out as it went up towards the congratulations. I'll be honest, I don't think that that embossing folder is even available anymore. Anything with some texture, preferably something that isn't a super geometric pattern, something super regular. The one I have feels very random, and so you can't really tell if something is off or not entirely straight. I just think it's a little more forgiving. Then I wanted to grab an accent piece. So I reached for the Vivid Blooms. It's a floral set from Spellbinders, but any florals would work. Or you could put a critter on here. Really, reach for your stash, whatever you have. I liked that this was really quick and easy to put together. So the navy piece in the center might line up in one particular way with the gold piece that I layered on top, but I didn't bother to look. It's kind of wonky and organic, and that was perfect for me. I'm going to layer up my congrats on a piece of navy cardstock that I cut with the exact same size die. And I am using a drop shadow, but it's sort of up and to the left. And I'm keeping an eye on the straight lines on the left and on the right as I layer these. So I have one up and to the left, and then this coral piece is down and to the right. And it just gives me a little more color in here, but it also keeps it from looking like there's so much space in between the white and then my card base. When I cut my card base, I used that die and I left the left edge of it off the fold of the cardstock. If it cuts all the way through, I don't have a card base, right? I just have a panel. So this was a fun way to do it for this one because there is a really straight edge. And then here I'm going to layer on my leaves and my flower. I did double up the leaves. They've got some cut lines that are decorative in there, but it also means then that the leaves aren't as sturdy as they might be if they were solid cardstock. So 2 layers made that plenty sturdy, and then it's going to hang off the edge of the card. Mine will not fit in an A2 envelope. It's short enough, but it hangs out too far to the right. But you absolutely could bring out an envelope and double check as you're adding on that floral just to make sure that it will fit. But that is card number 2. For card number 3, I have a piece that is 5.5 inches tall by 8.5 inches wide, and I'm cutting 1 inch off the side. Then I'm going to score this at 4.25 like I would with a normal card, but you'll see my front flap is shorter than my back flap. That's exactly what we want. I had already cut out this happy birthday wishes from the kit that's from the Use Your Stash Summit. It is 3 inches wide, which is really wide. So I just trimmed some slivers off of it to give myself more room to add a decorative accent. And then I'm going to glue that. It's now more like 2 7/8. I'm going to glue that onto a pink panel that's a little bit wider, 5.5 inches tall. That way I get those little pink strips on the side. You could use strips of cardstock instead if you'd like, but this is a little easier for me, a little less of a gluey mess. Then I'll add glue onto that panel and center it onto that shorter flap that's on the front of my card. I know it's upside down. Do you do this? Like sometimes it just makes more sense in my head to turn the card all different directions when I try to get things lined up. So now I have that 1 inch strip we cut off of our card base, and I'm going to score it at 3/4 inch. This is going to create a tiny little short flap and then a longer flap. It's longer than we need. We'll cut it down. I want this to kind of wrap around the back. So I'm going to tape it on there like that. And then I have a circle that fills that bottom section. It's not big enough for my lady popping out of her cake, right? She's going to extend beyond the edges, but it's still a really great, like colorful spotlight. So I just trimmed down that flap so it's a little shorter. It's going to end kind of in the middle of that circle. And then I'm going to center the circle in the open space underneath Happy Birthday Wishes. That's a 2.5 inch circle, but again, you could use any shape as long as it fits any size. I'm going to use a pencil to mark where I had my little sort of arm reaching over to the front of the card. And I'm going to add glue onto my little short flap, and I'm gluing that. It's folded right now. I'm gluing it onto the navy strip on the far right side. To keep things nice and tidy, I'm going to glue a 2.5 inch teal circle onto the back. And that will just keep people from seeing kind of where we clipped off that arm that lets everything flip and flap onto our card. I will eventually change that purple circle on the front, but first I'm going to finish decorating the inside of the card. So I have this bump that's created by the flap that we added. And so I have a piece of cardstock that is 3/4 of an inch wide, and I'm going to add that onto the top and bottom, but not over top of where we added the flap. I am butting this all the way up against the front panel of the card. I want to put some pattern paper on there, and I am now creating an even playing field, right? So I have an extra layer, single layer of cardstock all the way down that strip. It doesn't go all the way to the far right side. You can see there's an accent strip of navy on the far right, but it does cover where the pattern paper is. So that's what we were trying to accomplish. I decided in the end I wanted my circle on the front to also be teal, but it was a little bit too light. So I'm using Fiesta Blue from Catherine Pooler on some teal cardstock, and it's going to be then darker on the edges and lighter in the middle. And then I'll use the Sparkle Effects from Spellbinders. It's just like a glittery something. It's in a little nail polish bottle. I love that it's really quick and easy to use. It was sort of an afterthought, but I love that it adds a layer of shine and dimension to this card. I'll just glue that right on top of the purple circle, and no one ever needs to know. When I add glue onto the back of my cake lady, I'm being careful at the very bottom and then at the tops of her hands because they're going to hang over the edge a little bit. But she's also in kit 95, the fitness birthday kit. She's in like her spandex aerobic outfit. You guys, I love that kit so much. It cracks me up. On the inside here, I have a piece that is 3 inches wide by just shy of 5.5 inches. And so I'll put that on the inside so I have a nice place to write my message. I'm using a little adhesive eraser to remove some goobers. And then I have a 2-inch scallop circle. This is from Sunny Studios. This is one of the first die sets I bought when I came back to crafting, and he fits perfectly for a circle emergency card sentiment. So this is the circle set from kit 95. If you're new to my kits, hi. They always come in circles and rectangles, so your sentiments are interchangeable in your stash. So I'm going to add this one that says, "To the crazy grandma we were all warned about." I love that it's sort of hiding there and you don't see it until you go to open the card all the way up. But my friends, that is card number 3. We're going to take one last look at all 3 cards, and then I'll give you measurements for the calendars as well. So here's card number 1 with our action wobble. Card number 2, our shaped card. I love this. You could do this in so many different ways. Card number 3, you could use an action wobble on this one as well. This is actually a take on one of my earliest card sketches I released. I hope you'll give that one a try. And then for our calendars, I cut a base piece that's 6 inches wide by 4.25 inches tall. Then the pattern paper on the right and the solid color cardstock on the left are both 3 inches wide by 4.25 inches tall. Then when you download the calendar, it has your mat size and the calendar size on there. I sometimes trimmed a little extra, and then I did add a pop-up on a couple of these. If you attended the Scrapbooking Fun Summit, it's the same pop-up I taught in that class, so you can absolutely add one to yours as well. If you don't have your free ticket to the Use Your Stash Summit that starts tomorrow, go ahead and grab that from the description box below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and come back the first Friday of February. I'll have a brand new huge kit for you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.